don't mind me. I'm so sorry, am I in the way? What's going on? Why is everyone looking at me? You, in the red shirt. Why is everyone here? You, in the white shirt. Why is everyone looking at me?
We're here to see a story.
A story? Oh, wonderful. Well, I do have one good story in my memory. I remember when Miss Sara arrived.
All aboard!
Choo choo! Chugga 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 choo choo! Chugga 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 choo choo! Chugga 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 chugga.
Welcome our new student and go find somewhere else to conduct yourselves. Captain Crewe, I am Miss Minchin. Pleasure to meet you. And you must be Sara.
Oh, yes. Please. Thank you.
Welcome to Miss Minchin's London School.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. I'm very excited to live here in your beautiful home.
I am so glad. As I was saying, welcome to our school. I am the headmistress and oversee all operations here from meals to curriculum. I hire only the best teachers here to ensure the success of the children.
I'm not the least worried about her education. She loves books. She practically devours them.
Oh, it is true. My favorite is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It's a wonderful book. Have you read it?
No, I have not.
Oh, you should give it a try. You may borrow my copy if you would like.
What an original child. I assure you, Captain Crewe, that all her needs will be taken care of. She will have her own bedroom and, for the extra fee, her own sitting room and maid, as you have requested.
Oh, excellent.
We accept payment for these services on front, Captain.
Oh, of course. Here you are. You can bill me for anything else she wants. She's a smart child. She won't ask for anything that is not safe for her to give her.
I see. Spoiled little thing. Right then, follow me this way and I'll show you around my school.
Captain Crewe stayed with Sara for about a week, but soon enough it was time for him to go.
I see that look. What's Sara thinking about?
Could you stay with me, Papa? Oh, we can live together. I can go to lessons, and you can do your job here in London.
No, my dear, I can't stay.
I know. I just want you to go.
Yes, but this is a nice house with so many little girls to play with, and I'm going to send you plenty of books, and you're going to grow so much. We'll be together again soon.
And you will write me letters.
So many letters.
And I will be sweet and innocent in my responses, so you will not suspect a thing.
Oh!
Ha! 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 Would you mind holding her? Thank you so much. I know. Ha! 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 Ah! Oh!
Oh, Sara, I don't think you know how much your papa's going to miss you.
I want to see more.
Are you learning my heart, little Sara?
No. I know you by heart. You are inside my heart. Thank you so much for holding her. No, please, please. No. Stop. No, it's accurate. Dang it. How do you do? My name is Sara.
Nice to meet you, Sara. I'm Lisa, that's Jessie, and that's Amber.
a lovely doll that you have.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my papa gave her to me. We picked her together. She will be my new companion. I chose her because she really looks as though she's listening when I speak to her. She does.
Sara was well loved by everyone. Well, almost everyone.
Pupils, be quiet! Sara, come here. As your papa has engaged a French teacher for you, he wants you to study the French language.
I think he engaged him because he thought I would like him, Miss Minchin.
I'm afraid that you have been a very spoiled little girl, and always imagine that things are done because you like them. But not everything in life is here for your pleasure.
I never really learned French, but
You will learn. The French teacher, Monsieur Duhage, will be here in a few minutes. Here is your French book. Look at it until he arrives. You may not like learning French, but you must.
oh, I am very fond of it.
Don't
But
say but. It is not polite. Read your book.
Is this a new student for me, madame?
Yes, monsieur. Her father wants her to learn French, but I'm afraid she is quite defiant.
I'm sorry about that, mademoiselle. Maybe we can learn together. I can show you that it's a lovely name.
J'ai appris le français de mon père. Il me l'a toujours dit. Je l'ai lu et appris et je l'aime parce que mon père l'aime. Il y avait des domestiques français dans la maison. Ma mère est morte quand je suis née. Elle était française. Je connais déjà le mot du livre parce que je connais déjà le français.
Madame, there is not much I can teach her. She has not learned French. She is French. Her mother spoke it to her before she passed, and her father engaged the maids to speak it to her back home.
Sara, how dare you lie to me?
I did not lie.
You withheld information from me, which is, in a way, a lie.
I tried to tell you. I suppose I did not say it right.
Ladies!
Mademoiselle, I will give you this to read while I teach the others, and tomorrow you will have more substantial work for you. Yeah. All right, now ladies, we shall review some vocabulaire. Répétez après moi. Jour.
Sure.
Yeah. Semaine. Yeah. Année. Yeah. Il y a 365 jours dans une année et 52 jours, semaines dans une année.
Il y a 365 jours dans une année et 50 semaines dans une année.
Yeah.
Sara, how do you do? I don't believe we've met. My name is Lavinia, the oldest of the students here at Miss Minchin's London School.
How do you do? I am Sara. How old are you?
Pardon me?
You say you are the oldest. How old are you?
That's not a proper question to ask a lady.
Well, then it is a good thing we are children and not ladies.
I would have you know that I am nearly a lady. I'm 12 years old.
You are old then. I am only 10.
I am not old! I'm not old.
Well, you are. You are older than me.
That doesn't make me old, just older than you.
Well, I suppose so. I think it will be nice to be old. You can sit and read, and no one will bother you because you are old.
What are you talking about?
Being old? Well, I think it will be nice to be old. You can sit and read, and no one will bother you because
never mind.
What do you like to do in your free time, Sara?
Oh, I love to read. I write letters to my papa. I love to tell stories or pretend I am in them. I pretend I am a pirate, or a fairy, or a princess.
A princess?
Well, yes, being a princess is my favorite thing to pretend. I try to be polite, proper, and kind to everyone, like a princess.
I see. How, juvenile. How are you finding Miss Minchin's London School?
Oh, I like the school very much.
And how do you see yourself fitting in socially?
I like making friends, if that's what you mean.
Not quite.
I do not think I understand the question.
All I mean to say is that there is an order that exists here, Sarah. I'd hate for something to happen to it.
In order?
Must I spell it out for you? Ugh. I'm the oldest. I am the most liked. I have the prettiest things, and I'm in charge around here. Don't think you can arrive and change that.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
Good. It was a pleasure to meet you, Sarah.
He's on the sea now, Emily. We must be very great friends to one another. I can tell you anything, right? All right. You sit here. Hello, Emily.
Hello, Sarah.
Oh! Oh! How do you do, Emily?
Very well, Sarah. How do you do?
Well. Oh no. Well, I do not know. I did not plan this far ahead. What should we do?
We should do friends do.
What friends? Oh, we should play.
Play what?
Oh, anything. Something pretend.
We could play house. I could be the baby, and you can be the mama.
Oh, yes. But that will not do because you are not a baby doll, Emily. You are my friend, my companion. Oh, let's play treehouse.
What is treehouse?
Oh, well, treehouse is where we pretend to live in a treehouse.
But we're not in the treehouse.
Well, of course not, so we won't pretend. Let's make the treehouse. If there was... Sarah, we're all going downstairs for a lesson. Are you coming? Oh, yes. Emily, you can read this while I'm downstairs. I was just telling Emily about Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Oh, have you read it? It's a wonderful book. I wonder if you could really paint white roses.
My job is to clean. That's all I came here to do. Really. It's just...
I'm so tired. What is your name?
My name?
Yes.
It's Becky.
Becky. Pleased to meet you. No. Just...
Are those your best?
Best what?
Best clothes?
Oh, this! Well, no. These are my day clothes.
Oh,
I like your dress.
thank you. Well, I better go. Thank you.
was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. My dear little Sara,
I cannot begin to tell you how mightily I miss you. Your letters have become more and more eloquent with every line. You are certainly growing quite a lot so far away. My dear daughter, I think of you all the time. Just yesterday, I was walking through the garden and saw those lovely white lilies your mother's planted before you were even born. How lovely they were planted when we were together. And they still grow now that we are all apart. My Sara, I miss you every moment of every day. With all my love, Papa.
hello, Emily. I'm back, and I think we should continue treehouse now.
What should we do first?
Well, we need to make the treehouse and the forest. We can play in the forest after we make it.
How do we make it?
In our imaginations. We can go to the forest, but not a regular one, an enchanted one. We can live in a pretty treehouse. It can have a rope ladder leading up to it, and this is the door. Will you come with me? Right here. And will you just be your door, please? Very good. Oh, please, okay. You should always lock your door. Thank you. This is our dining table. Thank you. Please stand right here. Whatever dining table means to you, would you please? That's very good, thank you. And these can be our chairs. You can stand right there. And you can stand right here. And will you both please be chairs? Oh, they're different. Oh, very good. Thank you both.
We can both sit in your bed, and that can be our hammock bed where we sleep.
This big window is kind of like a balcony, and when we lean out of it, we can talk to the animals. Harold, the blue jay, he lives in the same tree as us, and he comes every morning to say hello. He gives us the news of the forest, and we give him birdseed.
Oh, he sounds like a nice neighbor. What about the squirrels? Do they know us?
Oh, yes, they do. And they're small and can go to places we are too big to get to, like high up branches and trees. And their names are
Flora and fauna.
oh, wonderful, Emily. Flora and fauna. Our squirrel friends. Oh, we must also go to the river for water. There we meet our other friends. They are frogs. Jimmy. Johnny. And
Jane?
Jane. We can splash and play with them when it is hot.
And at night?
At night, we watch the stars and go inside. You've all been wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there anyone to be afraid of in the forest, Sarah?
Oh, yes. There are some unfriendly animals, like bears, and there's an unfriendly lady. Her name is Agnes. She's jealous that we can talk to animals and wants to take our animal talking powers. If we get too close to the edge of the forest, she will take us away and try to control the animals.
That's terrible.
Oh, but do not worry. We are safe and happy in the forest as long as we stick together and can run away from her fast.
I like this place, Sarah. I can see it. It is sunny, and the trees are green.
The branches give us shade, and the grass is soft.
If we were there now, we could pick flowers.
Well, but we are there, Emily, in our minds.
I found a violet in my mind.
Oh, I found a daisy.
I found a tulip.
I found a rose. Oh, I know. Let's collect the roses and then we can make tea with them.
And share it with Jimmy, Johnny, and Jane.
Oh, yes. The sun shone on the mermaids as they laughed together, swimming in crystal green water and dragging behind them a fishing net woven of deep sea pearls.
That maid is listening to us.
I knew she was listening, Lavinia. Why should she not listen?
I think it's proper for servants to listen to us.
I think it is proper to let anyone who wants to listen do so. Stories are for everyone. It is more proper to be kind. I think we are both old enough to know that.
Ah, yes, your royal highness. You are such a princess, aren't you? I think we're both old enough to stop playing pretend.
Well, it is true that I pretend I am a princess sometimes.
Ah, yes. Your highness, I hope you don't forget us when you ascend to your throne, princess of the silvery maze.
Well, I will not. You can be my lady in waiting.
You don't understand, do you? Let me say this in a way you might understand. Your silly games are for little kids, Sarah. We don't want to play with you because you act like a little kid.
No, I do not.
Yes, you do. Everyone can see that.
No, I do not. Pretending is not bad.
Maybe if you're 4 years old, but ladies don't play with you.
Well, you're wrong. You're
The royal cat seems to have caught her tongue.
no,
Anyone who wants to grow up will follow me to tea. Farewell.
What? I wasn't done with the story yet. Don't you want to hear the end?
The feud with Lavinia continued, but as Sarah's stories grew more and more enticing, Lavinia's wrath became less and less binding.
And as she entered, the music started with such an uproar, she almost jumped out of her shoes. And as the waltz began, she locked eyes with a stranger, his blue eyes piercing into hers. They took hands, and off they went, dancing to the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Like I'm there.
You are there.
No, I'm not.
What? You can use your imagination to be. Oh, come on, let's have a ball. Princess Ernagar, it is a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine.
May I have this dance, princess?
Certainly.
But Sarah, only boys ask girls to dance. Dance is all wrong.
Lavinia, you're just pretending. Oh, come on. Dance with us.
Sarah, a letter.
You're very good dancer.
Thank you. Whatever.
Who's it from? What does it say?
Oh my gosh, let's read it. Thank you, Louisa. It's from my papa.
Just a letter. I'm sure it's not that interesting.
We want to hear it.
All right, then I will read it. It says,
My dear Sarah, I write to you with exciting news. A colleague of mine, you remember Joseph, came to visit. While he was here, he surveyed some of the grounds, and he discovered diamond fragments on the property, and sufficient land on the property for mining has been found. We're going to be initiating the mining process.
That's the big news. No one wants to hear about your dad's foreign and stuff.
it's not boring.
It's not really exciting.
No. I mean, I misread it. That's not what it says.
It actually says Joseph came to visit, except they don't call him that now.
They call him Joe. Joe. Captain Joe came not to visit, but to attack. He and his men, a crew of 15.
No! 30.
No! 50. 50 men were waiting back on the ship when he knocked on my door. I was ready to host him for dinner and conversation, but he didn't want to talk. Ha! I am not a violent person, but luckily today, I brought my sword. I didn't kill him, my dear Sarah. I do not kill. But I do defend. Because I must defend. I write to you to say I am setting sail. I am now Captain Crewe of the SS,
the SS Beck?
The SS Beck. We set sail this afternoon with a crew of 51. Take that, Joe. I will write to you with more adventures, more excitement.
More stories.
He really is a pirate!
Do you think he'll discover buried treasure?
And then send all the money to Sarah?
And he can tell us more stories of the high seas.
He can see it. Maybe he'll hook hand.
Or a peg leg.
He's probably not going to do any of those things.
And why not?
He's a businessman, not a pirate.
Lavinia, why must you step on the things that we like?
Excuse me?
You always tell all of us why the things we like are bad, and I think that it's very unkind of you. It is not a very regal thing to do.
You and your princesses, I already told you princesses are dumb. And for little kids.
I like them.
Oh, I don't care what you like, Your Highness. And I'm tired of this conversation. I'm older than you, so I know better.
That's not fair!
I don't care. I really don't.
Young ladies,
It was all her fault.
I don't care. I don't care at all. Just stop screaming and go to dinner.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Sarah.
birthday!
Thank you both. Oh, thank you.
Did you have us send you a letter?
Yes.
Well, not yet, but I'm sure it's coming. He's never missed a birthday. Actually, this is the first time we've been apart for my birthday. So.
Silence, young ladies. You may leave us.
Miss Minchin, may Becky stay?
Becky, why would you want her to stay?
Because I know she will like to see the presents. She is a little girl too, you know.
Sarah, Becky is a scullery maid. Scullery maids are not little girls.
But Becky is, and I know she would enjoy herself. Please let her stay. For my birthday?
As a birthday request, she can stay. Rebecca, thank Miss Sarah for her great kindness.
Oh, thank you, Miss.
Resources are wasted on children. Now, young ladies, I have a few words to say.
Miss Minchin,
What is it now?
well, I was in the hallway because I was walking here from the washroom and there was this loud banging on the door and there was a man and he yelled, "I must speak with Maria Minchin. It is of utmost importance."
Louisa, do not tell me you let a strange man in here.
No, I just said, "I do not know you." And he said, "Little girl, can you please retrieve Maria Minchin?" And I said, "Who's Maria?"
I get the picture. Fine, stay here. I will return momentarily.
Happy birthday, Sarah. Thank you, Louisa.
Thank you kindly, miss. I haven't seen such niceness before.
It is quite odd to me that she would make me leave at such a time.
Oh, well, the missus is not quite so fond of me staying around such nice things.
Why?
Well, I'm me, not you.
Young ladies, I need to speak to Sarah, alone. Leave us.
What about the party? It's okay.
Rebecca, clean this all up.
Thank you all.
Sarah, I am sure your father has told you about the diamond mine business in his letters to you. I told him it was a silly investment. Did he listen? Of course not. He has lost all of his fortune. Your fortune. Some con man. This party of yours was very expensive, and I have not been paid back for it, and now I will not be. Of course, that doesn't matter to you. Spoiled little girls have no concept of cost. Of course, there's other news too. On top of getting swindled out of all of his money, your father became very sick very quickly. He is dead. I am sorry this has happened to you, but you cannot be a student here anymore. Your father died before paying his last check to me. By extension, you owe me thousands of pounds. It appears that you have no relation for you to go to. You are a penniless beggar unless I choose to keep you here out of kindness. What are you staring at? I tell you that you are quite alone in the world and have no one to do anything for you unless I choose to keep you here out of charity. Because I am not a soulless woman, I will not throw you out on the street, but everything you once had is now mine. You will scrub the floors, walls, and every crevice of this place. You will work to earn your keep. You will do anything you are told. It is the least you can do after running me to ruin, you spoiled child. Now, go. Put on your black frock and return here immediately. Where in the world do you think you are going with that doll? Put it down.
No.
Excuse me?
No, I will not put her down. She is all I have. My papa gave her to me.
You will not have time for dolls anymore, Sara.
Well, she will stay out of your sight. She will not be in the way, but I will not leave her
There is
here.
no way to talk to me.
Oh, please. She is all I have. I'll keep her out of sight.
I don't have time for this. I don't care what happens to it, but I never want to see that doll again. Do you understand? Stop! Don't you intend to thank me?
What for?
For my kindness to you. For my kindness in getting you a home. For letting you keep that ridiculous toy.
You are not kind! This is not my home.
So Sara moved into the room next to mine, in the attic.
It is dark.
So sorry, miss, I don't know what to say, miss.
Becky, you do not have to call me miss anymore.
I'm sorry, miss. Oh my gosh, a rat! A rat!
Where?
God, I think it is gone now, miss.
It is probably quite hard to be a rat. Nobody likes you. People jump and scream. They avoid you. I would not like to be avoided like a rat.
I guess. I don't know. There are many rats up here. Well, I'm in the little room next to yours, so it is kind of like we are neighbors. Or prisoners.
Prisoners.
Don't say this.
We will make a code. Like we are soldiers in battle. Miss Minchin is the enemy, and we are the prisoners. It will be like a game or a secret.
Yes, a code.
2 knocks means, are you there? And 3 knocks means, yes, I am here, and I am all right. And then 4 knocks can mean, I am glad. We will sleep in peace.
Oh, I like this very much, miss. Let's give it a try. Sara tried to be a strong soldier, but the walls were not quite so thick in the attic as they were downstairs.
having a French lesson. Do not distract the students.
Je suis allé à l'église. Je vais à l'église. J'irai à l'église. Bien. Good, mademoiselle. That is all for today. Merci.
Isn't Princess Sara, Lavinia, don't doing anything? Just saying hello to our old classmate. How's the celery making kingdom, Your Majesty?
That's not nice, Lavinia.
You can pretend your way out of this one, Sara.
I have not done anything to you, Lavinia.
Oh, you've done quite enough, Your Highness.
What? What have I done that makes you so mean? What did I do to you that makes you think I deserve this? Please tell me.
Sara, what did I tell you? Do not distract the other girls.
Well, I wasn't, miss.
How dare you? Insolent, entitled girl. I will not have this. You are not to interact with these girls. You are a scullery maid and you will act as such. You are not one of them anymore. Do you understand me? Speak! Do you understand me?
Yes, Miss Minchin.
As it seems I cannot trust you in the schoolroom anymore, you will go run errands. Go fetch my order from the tailor.
I do not have a coat, miss.
A coat?
It is cold outside, and the tailor is far away.
Sara, I don't buy coats. These girls were given coats by their families. You do not have a family to give you a coat. I can't buy everyone a coat, so why would I give you a coat? I am not made of money. Go to the tailor, and when you return, report to the cook.
Maybe you could pretend you have a coat, Sara.
Ladies! Tea is in the other room. I suggest you go eat before you say any more words out of turn. Leave us.
Hello, Emily? Emily? Emily, today I went out to run the errands in the snow. My shoes and stockings and feet were drenched. It was cold. But when I returned, it was late, and tea was over, but the cook did not save me anything. There was no food in the pantry. She was rude and mean. I'm exhausted and hungry. It must get better. I'm just tired, aren't I, Emily? 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 Are you there? I really need a friend right now, Emily. Please. Emily, you can't leave now. You just can't. It's cold and dark, and I just really need to talk to you. Please. Emily! You don't really have anymore. Papa is gone. You can't go too. That's not fair. Come back. Oh, come back, please. Papa's dead. He's dead. Emily, do you hear? Do you hear? Papa is dead! He's dead thousands of miles away. My Papa is dead, and you are gone too. Papa is dead. 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 My Papa is dead.
Sometimes it was hard to know what to say to Sara. I mean, what can you say when your friend is in pain?
I'm so sorry. Sara? Is that you?
Yes.
How are you?
I don't know. How are you?
I'm quite well. Are you very unhappy?
What do you think? Do you think I am very happy? I didn't.
Miss?
You do not have to call me Miss anymore, Becky. What is it?
Are you all right?
What do you mean?
I mean, I was thinking about you and all the things that have happened. It's not good what happened to you, and I guess I would just be very sad if I was you. I would be more than sad, but I don't know what more than sad feels like. Are you more than sad, Miss?
Yes, Becky, I am more than sad. I do not know what I am.
How do we make it better?
I do not know, Becky. I feel empty. Sometimes the nights in the attic feel so cold and lonely. It is so dark. But then sometimes I get up in the morning and I just do the things we do. I cannot think about my Papa when I am busy doing errands and cleaning. Sometimes I forget, and for a moment everything is fine, but then I feel guilty because I forgot, and then I feel more than sad again. I feel lost.
Do you miss your father, Miss? I mean, of course you do. It's just
No,
that
no. Yes, Becky. I miss my Papa so much.
Would you like to tell me about him? I saw him when you guys got here, but that's all.
Yes, I would like that very much.
Papa was very kind. He used to laugh when I would say things he thought were funny. He would pick me up and say, my, Sara, soon you'll be too big for your old Papa to carry, but not yet. I would tell him stories. I would talk for hours and hours, and he would listen. He told me to go on. He was the only one who told me to go on. Everyone else reaches a point where they ask me to be quiet, but not Papa. Papa would be excited with me and bring me stories of his travels. When his friends would come to visit, our servants would tell me that the table is no place for little girls, but Papa would raise his hand and say, "Nonsense! Let her sit with us." My Papa knew me. Oh, we used to read together. When I was too little to read, he would read to me. Then I started to learn the words. I would sit on his lap and he would read, but when we got to a word that I knew, I interrupted him to say what I knew. Eventually, I read and he listened.
That sounds lovely, Miss. I wish I knew how to read.
You do not know how to read?
Well, no. We do not have books, and I don't go to school.
Well, maybe one day we will get a book and I can teach you to read.
I like hearing stories about your father.
I like to tell them. I feel like he is hearing them when I tell them. It is like he is remembering them too. Becky,
Sarah! Get down here!
Coming.
Another time.
He's not 4 yet. Hermingard, how did you get in here?
Everyone is asleep. I won't be long. But I wanted to apologize for my question the other day. And, this was the only way to find you. And I don't know what to say.
Well, no, Ermengarde, I am sorry. I should not have been so cross.
Yeah. I miss you. Everyone keeps picking on me. Lavinia's really bad at telling stories.
I'm sorry Lavinia picks on you.
She says you don't read anymore, so you're stupid now. Are you stupid now?
Well, no. That is not even true. I still read every day. I read grocery lists and street signs instead of books now.
I wish you wouldn't say such mean things about you.
Well, that is all right, Ermengarde. I cannot hear her anymore.
I know we cannot see each other anymore, Kara. I will think of it.
Thank you, Ermengarde. I will think of you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Winter was terrible. It was so cold and miserable. We were so tired, but so can you do it, miss?
Let me think. You see, there could be a thick, soft, blue rug on the floor, and in that corner there could be a soft little sofa with cushions to curl up on, and just over it could be a shelf full of books so that one could reach them easily. And there could be a fur rug before the fire, and hangings on the wall to cover up the whitewash. Oh, and pictures. They would have to be small, but they could be beautiful. And there could be a lamp with a deep rose-colored shade, and a table in the middle with things to have tea with. Oh, there could be a big and beautiful bed, soft and covered with a lovely silk coverlet. It could be beautiful. And perhaps we could coax the sparrows until we made such friends with them that they would come and pick at the window and ask to be let in. It is warm and cozy. There are muffins, and we are eating them. Oh, they are warm and soft and delicious.
We should be like this all the time.
I wish that too, but we must go back into the world.
Back to prison.
Good night, Becky.
Good night. Sarah.
do not have any books for you to read while I am out all day. I do not have much time to tell stories anymore. I taught Becky how to see things, like the forest. It is harder to imagine the forest here than where we used to be.
Maybe not. You're as high up here in the attic as we're in the treehouse.
Oh, Emily! Oh, I've missed you. Oh.
I missed you too, Sarah.
I miss how things used to be.
I know, Sarah.
I wish I could go somewhere else.
Maybe you can.
I can't.
Just try.
Okay. If we look out the little window, we can imagine the buildings are treetops.
What else?
And the roads are the river flowing through.
We can pick flowers that grow on the walls.
They grow up the sides of our house like vines.
I found a violet!
I found a rose!
I see it!
I see it too, Emily. I see it too.
Yes, this is probably my favorite story. Sarah taught me how to see the world like a story. Interesting and new. We even got a book. Look. And she's teaching me when we have time. Listen. The end.
Everyone for coming to see A Little Princess. My name's Grace. I wrote and directed the play, and I'm getting emotional, but I'm so grateful to all of you for coming to see this piece that has lived in my brain for 2 years and is now on stage for the first time. I have a couple of thank yous to say, but we're going to do a quick Q&A session, a talk back kind of thing. So feel free to stay for that. If you have to go, we completely understand. Please feel free to leave if you need to, but we're going to do a little Q&A, a little talk back. This is also for, as Brittany said in the opening announcement, for my senior thesis project here at Notre Dame, so this Q&A will kind of help me with some of the pieces that are left in making this thesis project. So yes, thank you all for being here, and I would like to thank this cast one more time. So grateful to them. They've done this on a really short rehearsal period, and with so much enthusiasm. I am so grateful to all of you. So yeah, I don't know, do you guys want to sit down?
Yes.
You can go get blocked if you want. Yeah.
No, seriously.
So we're gonna feel free to, yes, if you need to go, please do so. So yeah, this is just going to be a little bit of time, 15-ish minutes, where if you guys have any questions for me or for anybody in the cast, we're happy to take them. And if nobody has questions, then I have some questions for you guys. So yeah, we'll just open up the floor if anybody, I'm going to sit down, and if anyone has any questions. Yes?
This was really beautiful, so thank you for directing this, and thank you to everyone that's in it. So I don't want to ruin so the original storyline ends differently. It ends at a different point, not differently. So I just wanted to ask what made you decide to end it at this particular point.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a really early piece of it, was deciding where to end this story. This story started actually as a project for a class that I was in about children's theater. And we talked a lot about what the phrase trusting your audience means when you're working with kids. And so I was thinking a lot about how if we end the story a little bit earlier, where it's not maybe as a nicely tied up happy ending, what does that do in terms of allowing space for
the emotions that come with the story and giving space to kids to feel the grief and the pain. And if we don't have the light at the end of the tunnel, if we sit in the grief a little bit longer, does it validate that more for kids to know that it's okay to feel pain, grief, loss, feeling ostracized, things like that. So kind of just what happens when we give a different kind of ending to it, that not all stories have to have a really nice tied up bow, because life really doesn't usually move like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is probably like a more obvious question. So the treehouse scene, obviously there was a lot of audience involvement in that. That's something I've never experienced before. What exactly inspired that? Like, where did you see that?
So I had a treehouse growing up in my backyard, and that was my favorite game to play. Was treehouse is when we live in a treehouse. I think that's my favorite line. Is treehouse is when we pretend to live in a treehouse. That was my favorite game playing growing up. Was my neighbors or friends would come over and we would just pretend we lived in the woods, and that was the whole game.
The audience interaction was, hey, wouldn't it be funny?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, were your neighbors like? Did you have to play his table?
No, I did not make my neighbors be my table. No, that definitely sprang from rehearsal with Mariko and Natalie, where they were like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we? And I was like, yeah, try it.
So this is actually straight right off that question. As having written the play, right, you had like a vision of what it was going to be on stage at some point, but obviously like ideas came up during rehearsal where it was like, wouldn't it be funny if we had audience participation, things like that. As a director of the play and getting to stage it and having people in the rehearsal room, was there a lot of moments where you had kind of aha, like this is a way that we can make this better or change this or an add on to the top, and like what was your favorite?
Yeah, there were lots of those moments. I think a lot of them came into scenes with Emily and the rehearsals with Mariko and Natalie, because you get to have so much fun with that kind of abstract staging of Emily. My favorite moment is the very end, when Sara and Emily like look at each other, because that's not written in the script. I didn't like that was a thing that just came out of rehearsal. Was like, what if you looked at each other and finally were able to actually like see, like the actors could see each other. So that's kind of my favorite little like sweet moment that came out of that, I think. But yeah, lots of little things, and there were lots of little rewrites. This is another thing that like I'm so grateful to this cast for, is I was rewriting the play while we were doing rehearsal, and so there were lots of lines that got thrown in, like Max's little line, "Who's Maria?" got added during rehearsal, and like little things like that that just kind of like when you start to hear and see them, they become like, I don't know, this play is funnier than it was in my head, like things like that would come up in rehearsal. Yes.
Hannah would like to know what happens behind the curtains.
That's a really good question. Yeah, I
Sometimes
see
you
magic.
crash.
Yeah, it's a lot of magic. It's a lot of us trying to support each other. So I got a shout out to Corey specifically. Hey, there you are. Corey at one point handed me Emily when I rushed behind the curtain to go between scenes. So it's a lot of grabbing props. It's a lot of getting ready for the next scene, and just sort of listening and supporting each other. That's a really good question.
Yeah, I was wondering like what age group is like the intended audience for this play? 'Cause I mean, I'm 22, it's delightful.
So yes, that brings up a great point. I think that this play can be enjoyed by anybody. But the target kind of age range I had in my head when I was first writing it was about like 4th, 5th grade kind of age. So nobody in this room. But yeah, kind of that like, because that's about when I read this book. I think I was in like 3rd or 4th grade. So like 3rd through like 5th grade is kind of the ideal, I would think. But I do think everybody can enjoy it.
We have to go because it is maybe a touch long for 4.
That is so fair. So fair.
So I was just wondering if I know you talked about in the program about how you came to love the novel, but did you, has this ever been adapted into a play, like a full-length play before? I mean, I know it's been made into several movies, and I was just wondering if you were familiar with sort of the different versions of this piece that exist, and whether you ever thought about, were influenced by the film versions, or if there's another play, or if you ever might expand this into the whole story with all the other characters that can't fit in a piece this small. Yeah.
Yes, so there are multiple movies. There's a musical. I believe there's another straight play of it. I have not read or seen any of them. I have only read the book. And so, yeah, I grew up with the book, and I don't know why. I think we just didn't have the movie growing up, I guess, and so I never watched it, and then this is what I've heard. But then I was already in the process of writing it, and so then at that point I didn't want to watch any other adaptations because I was really stuck on like what the book did for me as a kid. So now that I've written it, maybe I'll watch them. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of had a question for the actors who were playing with the Mean Girls. Like, obviously this is like, it's a play for kids, so like, during rehearsals, how was it trying to like balance like, how mean do we actually go to the point where it's like, how real is it versus like, how over the top, like stagey is it? Like, how's it finding that balance?
I cried a couple times.
I was like always apologizing to Natalie too, because this is like my first impression meeting her was me just being like, she's, yeah. So I don't know. I was like always like apologizing to you, but no, it's just like funny. I think like the meanness of Lavinia like comes from literally like the words that you wrote, Grace, like are just horrible. Like maybe you can pretend you have a coat. Like I could say it's so nice, or I can say it's so mean, and it just cuts so deep either way. So I think it's a little like how you like play it more for kids, I guess, is like she's fake nice. So the fake nice part like softens it a little, so it's not like super aggressive.
Natalie and I have been friends for like quite some time, so it wasn't like I was like meeting her for the first time and just screaming at her. But yeah, I mean, Miss Minchin, she's the villain of the play essentially. She's just completely unredeemable and the worst. So like it was fun and like but like yeah, I mean Grace just told me to go all the way and keep going higher. So that's why you heard me screaming at like a 12-year-old.
I did. I was like, yeah, meaner, worse.
Was it, now that you've seen it on stage for the first time, is it like what you had in your head 2 years ago? Like how?
No. Oh my gosh, no. I mean, the play that it was 2 years ago was total. Lavinia wasn't in the first draft of this play.
I didn't even know that until just right now.
There are a couple of people in this room who helped me with the first table read I ever did of it. Yeah, you were there, Dominic was there, John helped me with a later version of it. But you guys are in this like very early table read of it, and yeah, I think it had a lot of different pieces going on that. I think just the process of writing it has kind of, I think I've just gotten certain pieces come out in the beginning, and then you just kind of take those little pieces that are like, oh wait, what's there, and then just kind of go deeper, and that's kind of how the play forms and expands, I guess. But yeah, no, it's totally not at all what I thought it was going to look like, and I think that's good. Yeah.
I know that you are a big fan of children's theater, and that's something that you want to continue exploring. What are your plans with The Little Princess and future little children's theater going forward? Do you want to continue, now that you've seen it staged once, do you want to continue rewriting it? Do you want to try and stage it for children?
You know, so much of my brain space has been this staged reading, so I haven't thought that far ahead, to be completely honest. I'm thinking about the paper I'll have to write about this afterwards, actually. But no, I would love to keep, this process of restaging has also made me rethink certain characters and have more things that I do want to change and write more. Especially Miss Minchin was one that during this rehearsal process